And Thunderbirds are go. Hey everybody, it's me, Aries Double 83, for another live stream slash audio podcast. All right, there's nobody watching yet. I sent messages all across like 4 or 5 Facebook groups. Hopefully somebody will show up. The most people I've had on these live streams is like 5. Let's see if we could get them beat by 10. The topic of this video live stream podcast is best of the best Earthrise. But before we get into that, let's do some toy hauls while people gather around and start entering into the chat. I was gonna do a thumbnail. Yeah. I guess I got a better idea. So I made some notes, like always, so I don't get too distracted. My last week, I ordered the Target exclusive Runabout. Yeah, Runabout. The black ones that loves the Runabout place. So I ordered Runabout. Like I mentioned before, the stupid Target, even though they have free shipping on orders of $35 and more, Runabout was limited to just the one figure per purchase. They do have a new rule. I should pull it up. Maybe I'll put it. They have a new rule for collectors, for limits. They want to make sure that people aren't buying everything in stock and then selling it on eBay. So they're asking their employees to do a very difficult job, because first, what they should do, they have to have signs littered all over the place. So if an employee says, sir, that item, that black car that you got there, the Transformer, that's limited to 2. If there's no signs enforcing that, the customer could get mad. They might still get mad anyway, and it could cause a kerfluffle. But I don't know. It's really tough for a store. They've done this in the past where it's like, oh yeah, the Star Wars B-Wing, that's limited, 1 per person. And they had a sign like collectors only, 1 per person, or something like that. If they're going to start enforcing that rule again at Target, they're going to have to go about it differently. Maybe have the exclusives at electronics where only the electronics people can get them, not on the shelf. Because if it's on the shelf and there's like 5 and the person takes all 5, there's no limit. No. So that's what they should do. Keep the collectibles by the electronics, not where they have the NECA and stuff, but like behind the counter. So if a person wants it, it'll be like a picture Runabout, and it'll be like, if you want this item, please go to the electronics desk. Way back when, I used to work at a store called BJ's Wholesale Club. A lot of people would make fun of the name BJ's. This was around the time that Furby's, no, not Furby. Well, it was Furby's, and I think maybe it was dying down, but the Thai, what are those things called? Pets. Shoot. They're made by a company called TY. They were like little pets. I'm blanking on the name now. I've learned a new trick, whoever's watching. Look, say hey if you're watching. So it was the craze of the Furbies, and we kept them where the cigarettes were. So cigarettes in the state of New York, I think it was like you had to have a retail license to buy them from us, from BJ's. So we would keep the Furbies back there with the cigarettes because both of them were addictive. And the Beanie Babies. Yeah, and we would also keep some Beanie Babies. I think the Beanie Babies were dying at that stage. Whoever was watching, they just stopped watching after I clicked my. I've learned on StreamYard to pop up the messages in the chat. Yeah, I, as the moderator, have to click on them and they'll show up on screen. So Target has to do that if they're going to start restricting the amount of collectibles they're going to sell. Anyways, now that I've done that runaround, my my runabouts, like me, showed up in stock. This is just one, but as you can see by the Target, put these stickers on them. I don't know why. I don't care. Package is going into Garbaggio anyway. Garbaggio. So there's 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. It felt like, I'm sure I had 5. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think they're 4. All my runabouts showed up, and I'm glad. This one is gonna be the Fiddlebop. So I'm glad. I was watching the Runabout and Runamuck are supposed to be based on the Lotus Spirit, which is the car in James Bond, the one that turns into a submarine, and then For Your Eyes Only shows up just with skis. I think it does something special, but I don't remember. I think it launches rockets. One reviewer mentioned that it looked like Knight Rider, and if they did do a commemorative Knight Rider, this would be a good mode for them to use. I watched an episode with Carr, and I heard he was voiced by Peter Cullen, but the clip that I watched was that Carr like trapped an armored truck on a bridge. It's on YouTube. And then Kit and Michael showed up and they had fights. And Carr was distinct because the bottom half of the car was gray. The top half was black. But in the first appearance where Peter Cullen was voicing Carr, Carr was all black. It looked like Kit. So that was pretty good listening, hearing Peter Cullen not be Optimus Prime. But this guy, Runabout, he would make a great Knight Rider. You have to modify the front of the car so you can get the light. But maybe next year we'll get a commemorative kit. So I got my Runabouts. Drust isn't in stock. He hasn't showed up in stock. I was looking at TFW 2005 just now for a little bit of news that I'm going to talk about. And Drust has showed up. But where? Of all places, of course, like I've said a million times, California. California. So it's going to make its way from the West Coast to the East Coast. Hopefully, like I said last week, that I heard Drust is going to show up on the 17th on Target.com. Hopefully, I'll be able to get as many thrusts as I can. I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3. One for the collection, one to customize, and one for the desk. But if I can get more thrust than Dirge and Ramjet, that'll be a blessing, because Dirge and Ramjet are hard to get. Yesterday I got an email, hey, the item you're looking for is in stock. It was Dirge and Ramjet. It was like the price that it had was $54. I was like, oh boy. When I went, it was sold out, because of course everyone's getting the same email notification. And when I looked at the time that the email showed up, it was 30 minutes. So in half an hour, it sold out. It's just high demand. That was one of my old phones buzzing. So I got through a Runabout. I wasn't able to get thrust, sadly, but I do wanna. If let me see. I did. Like a few weeks ago, I was on Facebook, which I've said you should be on Facebook. I joined a Transformers group so you could get info. Someone said that they found Siege Jetfire at a store called Foreman Mills. I'm like, Foreman Mills? And I looked it up on the internet. And there's a Foreman Mills in New York. There's Google Maps had one in Brooklyn. And their website had one in the Bronx. But when I looked at Google Maps, the address that came up was just a corner. It was like a street. There was no building. And when I went on their official website, they didn't have any locations in Brooklyn. And I'm not fond of traveling that much now, you know, with the whole pandemic thing. But I dared to be stupid. I told my fiance, I'm going to go to the Bronx. And she's like, oh, Bronx? And I'm like, it's just to check. I'll probably not find nothing. And I didn't. I went all the way out there. It was a 2-train ride. I had to take the R to the 5, and the 5 took me right up to the place. Left me like a few blocks away. So I get there, I'm walking on my way up. There's a Five Below. Five Below only had Prime Masters. There was a Burlington Coat Factory. They didn't have any Transformers. There was a Marshall's, no Transformers there. And there was an Aldi's, which everyone knows if you're on Facebook. Wave 2, the shunted wave, is showing up at Aldi's. So I went into the Aldi's, and they had Wave 2. They had 2 of each. And I made my way to Foreman Mills. They didn't have anything in there. The only Transformers they had were the one-step Bumblebee changers. It was the Volkswagen Bumblebee. They had a whole bunch of them, but I'm like, one step. So dejected, I went into Aldi's, and I decided to grab RC, which I later regretted. The Transformers for Your Listening Pleasure was doing purchase regrets. I regretted RC. I grabbed 2 smoke screens because I love this mode. The Datsun mode is very cool. So I grabbed 2 smoke screens. One's for the desk. And I grabbed the RC. Let me just put this back here. Whoa, don't fall. So I grabbed 2 smoke screens, which is awesome. And when I was waiting to pay for the smoke screens, for some reason I thought, let me get a RC, because she's hard to find, you know, Wave 2, the shunted wave. And then after I paid for her, I'm like, RC is going to show up in Kingdom. She's not rare or hard to find. Oh man. So I would return her, but all these is all the way in the Bronx. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna live with my regret. It did cross my mind to get the Alicon, but I don't really like the Alicon. I know a lot of people love it. They want to army build it because of the movie and the Quintesson Judge. But the Alicon is not a cool robot design and not a cool alligator design. It just turns around and whoop. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about in this video, audio podcast. That's why the title is Best of the Best, Earthrise. But that'll come later. So I got RC. I'm probably going to review her with the Paradron Medic. And I'll probably touch her up also, like put some pledge on her ankles and knees. She could stand up with her big old backpack. Besides that, when I was coming back from Bronx, I decided to stop at a new Target that last time I checked, they had 2 Skylynxes in stock. They're the only store in my, when I use BrickSeek and I look up Skylynx SKU, the only store that has it is this store. It's like by Columbus Circle in Manhattan. There's 2 of them. And there's a sale, like if you buy, if you spend $50, you save 10. If you spend 100, you save 25 on Target. So I saw Skylynx. There were no Deluxes, but I did find Sugar. I brought the X-Men Marvel Legends Rogue. Last week they had a buy 2 get 1 free on all Disney products, and since Marvel's owned by Disney, but I only wanted Rogue. I already took her out. I put her in a Ziploc bag with her extra hands. I might get Gambit, but I do like this Rogue. She's come a long way from the Toy Biz Rogue that came in a box set that looked very ugly. A lot of people didn't like it, but it was the only Rogue that we had for a long time. This is a repack because I know she came out. I saw her and I decided not to buy her, and I regretted it. There's like her and Spider-Woman are like 2 of the Marvel Legends that I've looked at, and I've been like, yeah, these look pretty good, and I haven't bought them. Not the Spider-Woman with the modern costume, the old yellow and red, big old yellow on the chest costume. Not the one that she's pregnant in. The figure's not pregnant, but there's a comic book cover that Spider-Woman's pregnant with her suit on. So I got Rogue. Sure. And finally, almost finally, my Netflix Optimus Primes came in. I like this Optimus mode. I don't like that you get the trailer and you get charged more. This is $39.99, so basically you're paying. This is how I always justify it. Voyager is $29.99. The Battle Masters are $5. Like so, 30 plus 10 is 40. $39.99. It's a decent price. I would rather not get the Battle Masters. I know I was watching Gotbot's live stream and someone wanted the Battle Masters. They're pretty good. I like the color yellow. They're nice. I don't know if I'll use them a lot, but this one's gonna be the display piece. He came with his head to a side, as you can see, so I have to fix that. I opened this one. This is gonna be the custom. as I marked here, custom. The head has a tendency to pop off easy, so I'm good. I'm glad that I picked this one as a custom. Also, let me see. Finally, for my toy haul, I got this. This is the Transformers 10-year anniversary war breakdown and the Viacon. I don't know why it won't focus. This is a dumb camera. So this is War Viacon and Breakdown. I'm probably not going to open this. I already have Breakdown. I got them from a store called Book Off for 25 bucks. The Viacon I don't own. I did get a whole bunch of regular Viacons from a store called D2 here in New York. I got them for like $5.99. But the thing is, it's old. It's an old line. Like, I'm all about the new. Give me that new stuff. Not the old stuff. Just the new. So even though these were good toys, and at the time when I was collecting Transformers Prime, when they were the pinnacle of modern technology, I didn't want to break down. But I saw it was Japanese exclusive, so I said, forget it. But I do have them. I kind of bought this set at the behest of Transformers Slag. Watch his video on the war breakdown, and he says this will probably go up in price, and I do agree, because I tried to sell the old breakdown that I had, and the price that most breakdowns sold for was 70 bucks on eBay. I could probably go there. But let me see, there's nobody watching, so I guess I could take my sweet time. I'm gonna share a screen. And a Chrome tab. You gotta open a new tab. That's good that it lets me pick the tabs that I wanna share. Last time I don't think that happened. I think because I was opening the tabs as I went on. But if the tabs are already open, I could jump from tab to tab. So StreamYard is a blessing. I think I might pay the premium version if I get famous. I think. So I tried to put the video at 1080p. It's letting me do 720p. I could go up to 1080p because of my webcam. But it's like 1080p is premium. And I'm like, I'll wait. So let me go to eBay. eBay.com. Yeah. I'm going to type in Transformers War Breakdown. Because there is the Silas breakdown, but we want war. All right, let me share the screen so you can see how you're supposed to use eBay. All right. There we go. I'm going to make the screen full screen. Oof. Okie day. So whenever you want to find out the price of what something is going for, Like if you want to see if you're sitting on a gold mine or not. These are current auctions: 65.99 cents, 84.99, 84. So this is just a war breakdown, but most of the stuff that's showing up is the box set, the new box set that I just showed off, and Combiner Wars breakdown also. These are good. Transformer Land is selling the old breakdown for $206, pre-owned. No, thank you. I would rather buy this, $200. The Combiner Wars drag strip, dead end breakdown, and off-road. 2, 4, 6, 8. Nope, that's too much. 3, 6, 9, 10. Still too much. More breakdown, mint and box, 250. So breakdown is very expensive. This guy's selling it for $99.99, 18 watches. So to determine the value, you go to advanced, go to completed and sold listings. Well, but I think it's the same. It's not completed. We'll let you know. What. So there's the ones that are actually gotten sold, and not that they just completed. But I guess you can only do one. Then you search. All right. So this sold for 45, 79, 28. This one sold for 105.82. This is in the UK. 99. So as you can see, there's not a lot of 64. This is zombie breakdown, but this is the Grand Galvatron Combiner Wars guy. Nah. 80, 89, 75. So basically the box set is selling for about 80 to 90 bucks, which is better than the Transformer Land's $205, which is but this one sold for $350, one bid. Or breakdown in box, $350. I have a feeling the buyer wasn't educated. Wouldn't have. Or I mean, there's the pre-order was over, so he or she probably felt like they had no choice. I do believe that the War Breakdown set I checked earlier today, is available in Hasbro Pros. Add to cart, $39.99. Limit 2 per customer. So if you're bidding on any of those auctions, guys, and you're a fan of this incredible guy here, buy it. If you're watching this video and you want to buy it, stop watching the video, come back, or watch the video after it's done. But buy this thing as soon as you can. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop that screen. So I got that. That's an investment. Hopefully I'll be able to sell it like maybe a year or two from now for $350. Get like Scorponok or something. Or I have all the Titans except Omega Supreme. Hopefully I do have them on pre-order at Hasbro Post. I did hear the guys at TFYOP, Transformers for Your Listening Pleasure. They have a podcast and a YouTube channel. I suggest you guys subscribe. They could be boring sometimes, but sometimes they're okay. They have a female host or co-host. Anyways, I did pre-order Omega Supreme from Hasbro Post, and according to them, it might be delayed, but you'll get it. I don't know if they cancel pre-orders. I've heard people talking about Hasbro Post canceling pre-orders, but I hope I get Omega Supreme, and I'll be good for 159. That's better than whatever he's going for on eBay. Also, all right, so that was my toy haul. All this junk over here that I have to do an opening party for and have fun and put in Ziploc bags. 30 minutes in and no viewers. They don't like me. They really don't like me. Well, it's 10 o'clock. It's late. Tomorrow's a work day. I know a lot of people are probably getting ready to go sleep. I was talking to my brother, and he has to get up early. So this is not for. I usually, if you want to come in and participate, it's great. But if not, I already have my tracks that I'm gonna go on. Choo-woo! And sometimes get a little bit derailed. Anyways, one last thing before I get into the news. News? Why are you doing news? I like talking. Come on. My only friends are my Facebook friends. No. So let's one last thing. I'm gonna open another tab because I'm dumb. Let me see. I should have had this prepared. Blah 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 bum 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 bum. So, thanks to Grimlockimus. Remember how I was telling you guys about following other people? Grimlockimus on Twitter mentioned that CMD store had Deluxe Wave 1 of Kingdom in stock. And I was like, oh boy, I think. So, let me share the screen. Here we go. And let me make sure it's full screen. All right, it's full screen. So they have Wave 1. They have Cheetor, Black Arachnia, Warpath, and Paleotrax. They also have Warpath. The Wave 1 is $99.95. Warpath is $27.99. Cheetor is $25.99. A little bit less love for Cheetor, and even less love for Black Arachnia, who's $23.99. Yesterday I came here, and they had the Wave, and they only had Warpath and Paleotrax, who's up here $23.99. They only had him in stock. Cheetor and Black Arachnia were sold out. So I deduced that. I guess those are going to be the hot sellers. The Ironworks of Kingdom is going to be Warpath. I think it's going to be Paleotrax. I like dinosaurs, but I don't get why you're going to make a dinosaur out of bones and then have a robot wear those bones. It's a horrible concept. I think it's destined to fail. I hope a lot of people get some enjoyment out of it, but I don't know. So what I did, I ordered a Warpath, Cheetor, and Black Arachnia. And that was yesterday. And earlier this morning or this afternoon, I got a notification that they shipped. So hopefully, I'm gonna be a badass and be like, oh, look, I got the new stuff. I got the new stuff. Usually, I'm not one of those guys that want the new stuff so I could review it. I usually take my time. The last two reviews I did were of Starscream, Earthrise, Starscream, and Commander Skylinks, because I like those toys and I want you guys to like them too. And I can recommend them because I like them. I'm not going to review Ironworks because I like Ironworks, but he's not the best, which comes to the topic of this video, best of the best, which we'll get to. We'll get to in a bit. So if you have a hankering for Kingdom and you got the dough, Wave 1 is in stock. Their shipping for me, I live in New York City. They ship from New York. I've mentioned that before. The shipping is about $10. So hopefully they'll show up like Monday, Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Monday or Tuesday, and I'll do a review. I'll probably do Warpath, and then Cheetor, then Black Arachnia, because the Warpath is the one I want. He's the G1 robot that I want. I do like Beast Wars, but I'm not that crazy about animals. They're difficult to customize. When I got the Drilling 30 Rat Trap, all I could do was paint in his robot mode. I painted his little teeth and gave like his arms some highlights and his fingers. I painted his robot fingers. But in beast mode, there's nothing to customize. Maybe I don't know if I panel lined the little tail, but so I don't know how you could customize a spider or a cheetah. Anyways, let me stop streaming from here. So they have, if you're watching and you want it, go to cmdstore.com, not .ca, and buy them. Finger guns be damned. So we're going to go from that to the news. There's a trailer for Earthrise. It's 38 minutes. I hear the dog go in the hallway. It's coming downstairs. The trailer for Earthrise is okay. I could probably show it, but I don't know. The trailer for Earthrise is okay. Somebody on Facebook was talking about the voice acting, and showrunner FJ DeSanto jumped in and burned him. He was like, "Shh, burned," and I'm like, "Woo!" Because it's always easy to talk bad about someone behind their back, but not to their face. But I didn't talk bad. I'm just like, I better not say anything bad if FJ DeSanto's here. And he's been on Rebel Force Radio, which is a Star Wars podcast. He's talked about how difficult it was to make Earthrise. He's been on their podcast before talking about Star Wars, so he was on the podcast promoting Siege. So take a listen, and you could get the other side of the story, not just the fandom, because the fandom sucks. Everyone wants something and no one gets what they want. It's like, I want this. Oh no, it's not in there. But someone else is like, I want this, but I didn't want that. So it sucks. Fandom sucks. You can only do what, as a creator, You can only do what you can, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, then they don't like it. You shouldn't tweak something just to make more people like it. And this has already been done. So the criticism that everyone's labeling is not going to change it. I don't think they're going to do a Sonic and change the design of the character. Right now, I'm sure Netflix is working to make the multiple dubs for the series. It comes out on December 30th. It's the 10th, so they got 20 days to finish up. That's why it was delayed last time, because of the dubbing. So just appreciate what you get. It's like if someone gave me a Snapple and I'd be like, oh, but the labels are blurry. It's still Snapple. I'm gonna drink it. It still tastes great. Snapple, send me some stuff. So I thought it was decent. The trailer brings in, besides the mercenaries, which were shown last time, we got the Quintessons, and we got the army, the new army builder, which is I think it's Ironhides that are white. I hope we get a release of army builders, because I like that Siege Ironhide Ratchet mode. It's pretty good. I love it too as Crosshairs. I did want to mention that Flame Toys showed off their Ferrari Hot Rod, which is pretty good. Looks just like the IDW Hot Rod, but let me just show you instead of blabbing. The trailer I could have shown, but I didn't know if I was going to get like flagged or anything. And for the audio podcast, it wouldn't make for for good talking. Let me see. Flame Toys. Yeah. All right, so here we have the Flame Toys Hot Rod, the Rodimus. She looks pretty good. When I was reading IDW back then, I really wanted them to do like a RED. That's a dog sneezing. Reverse sneezing. I really wanted them to do a robot enhanced design type figure of like IDW Magnus and Hot Rod. They're the designs that I like the most of that series. Then it comes Tailgate and Swerve. But most of the other designs, Nautica is nice. I like Nautica. Most of the other designs are, they're passable. But I have the core few that I really wanted into non-transforming action figures. Hopefully the Red Line will do that with IDW, but I don't know if their license with Flame Toys will let them. We'll see. Here's hoping. Transformer Slag, Protoman, he doesn't think the RED line's going to last long. I hope it does, but he's probably right. I was thinking about the G.I. Joe classified figures, how they were announced, like, I'm sure they were announced at Toy Fair, and I don't know, they're not showing up anywhere. They show it sporadically. And I'm sure that line's going to die a horrible death, just like the Overwatch line. The only thing that I hope is that closeout stores will get a whole bunch of G.I. Joes that I can buy for $5.99. That's the only thing. I wish it was more successful. The video game that they came out with isn't available on PC. It's only for consoles, so I can't play it. I can only watch other people play it. And most of the G.I. Joe classified designs are from that game. I don't know what you're doing, Hasbro. I'm sure the pandemic has something to do with it, but you got to do something about G.I. Joe and its distribution. There's someone in the chat. I'm sent. Look, if you're watching the video, say hey. So, the next thing I want to talk about, let me share the screen. I could only share one. I'm going to share this guy, my favorite. So this is the only at Walmart exclusive Retrohead Masters. This is Wave 2, and this is a Weird Wolf. The pre-order says that he's going to ship on June 1st. Oof. Oof. Now you see, just making sure it's streaming. So I picked the wolf wire to be the picture because the wave consists of wolf wire and wave 2. Excuse me, wolf wire, highbrow, and skull cruncher. Out of those 3, wolf wire is the best. Oh, look at that wolf! They got the Weird Wolf name back. I didn't notice that. That's cool. I like wolf wire. It's just as good, but it's a Weird Wolf now. You call me Weird Wolf now. I'm not going to pre-order him. I mean, I have mentioned that you should pre-order exclusives, but since this is just a reissue with the new head from the Japanese Legends line, I don't think he's going to be selling like hotcakes. Like the RED line's not selling like hotcakes, and neither is the commemorative line. So when he shows up, hopefully he shows up before June 1st, which is a long time. Hopefully they show up and I'll buy them. But it's not like something that I really want. It's like a last resort, or like I was just looking for something to buy and I buy. But yeah, Wave 2 has been announced. Wave 1 is showing up overseas, but it hasn't shown up yet on Walmart.com. And I'm not going to go all the way to Valley Stream, a 2-hour trip, to get these guys at Walmart. And I'm sure I won't find anything if I do. So let me close that. Let me close the Flame Toys and Viacon and close the Kingdoms and what? Close that and that. Just closing tabs here. All right. That and that. All right. The last thing in the news. It's 48 minutes. I got 2 watchers. Thank you for watching, 2 guys. Say hey if you're watching. So the last thing for news, which I'm sure you're tired of, is that we got he showed up out of nowhere, floating. I couldn't, I'm going to have to share it from the news source, TFW 2005. TFW 2005 is my favorite website for Transformers news because of Aaron Archer and what happened. Anyways, enough about that. There is a link here to Dorkside Toys. I clicked on it. I thought it'd bring me to the listing, but it doesn't. It doesn't show up anymore, this guy. This is the buzzworthy Transformers War for Cybertron, buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack, the Bumblebee and Spike revealed. Here's some pictures down now. The curious thing about this guy says War for Cybertron up here, but doesn't say Siege, doesn't say Kingdom, doesn't say Earthrise. It has buzzworthy Bumblebee, which you'd think is the name of the figure, but I think this is the name of the subline, because the name of the figure is here, Bumblebee and Spike Witwicky. This Spike Witwicky looks like it's a repaint of the Headmaster that came with RC Laniad, because looks like it has the same articulation. We'll see how he transforms, but it looks like he's just like a little Prime Master, Prime Titan Master mode. And you got a new Bumblebee. I like this Bumblebee head here in the package. I hope we get a Bumblebee with that head. I like this crest and the stripes on the side, the black stripes. He still has the horns, but he doesn't have the fat face. Quintesson in the Earthrise trailer called Bumblebee ugly, and yes, he's ugly because he got this fat face. And the new IDW version 2, he has like lines on his cheeks for some reason. So here you have back, it's 3D render, which looks horrible. Then you got the toy. He looks okay. I'd like to see how big he is. I'm thinking he's Legends class. He might be core class, which I guess is the same as Legends. I was thinking about the little Optimus that was in the Reveal the Shield line, but I don't think that's Legends class, or is it? Legends is like Beachcomber and Brawn. So here you have him. His arms look weird. The plastic on the back, it blends in with the arms, but I think these are like wings. Hopefully they can fold back so they don't show up so much. And here he turns into a little car that a lot of people have said looks like Bumper, G1 Bumper. Here's Bumblebee. His face looks better. His head looks better here. I'm okay with it. Still not G1. I still want the Netflix Bumblebee because he turns into a Volkswagen. But I'd also like to get this guy too. There he is. And here's Spike. The arms look different, which make me think it's not a Titan Master. I'd like to see the back, but I don't think there's a picture of his back. And his legs are stuck together. I don't know if he has a waist articulation, because his transformation is just that he lies down and goes to sleep. But this is good. When I saw this, what my heart desired was like a Generations line that wasn't Kingdom, or Generations-esque line that wasn't Kingdom, but went in a different way. Lately, the waves that we have been getting have a theme in them, like Titans Return, everyone's Titan Master. Combiner Wars, everyone's a combiner. Power to Primes, everybody's mixed. Siege, everybody gets battle damage and Greeble. Earthrise, everyone's G1, land-based. I just want them to make cool figures in this line without a theme. Maybe this will become the G1 redone line, but he's not a Volkswagen, so that already deviates it. It'll be going back to basics where you got like Sunstreaker, who was part of a combiner and kind of looked like a Lamborghini but wasn't. But we'll see. I'm guessing this line is to replace Cyberverse. Cyberverse is probably on its last legs. They'll release those deluxes, and I think that's it. Maybe, and they're 2 cartoon movies, and then they'll be done, and then this will take over. There's no information on when it's coming out, but it'll probably be next year because there's already packaging. There's already a physical toy. Usually when stuff like this is announced, it's a 3D render like this. But these are physical toys that have gotten their picture taken. And one more tip to that. I've already mentioned that you should follow Cyber Cookie reports on, I think their name is Omegatron Suprema. Follow them on Instagram. They have here this post. I don't know where they get their information from. Well, it says here, credit to Pixel Master and Cats on TFW 2005. They have a rumor. These are usually rumors that the buzzworthy Bumblebee is a subline which contains new modes, remodes, and repaints of previous figures of Bumblebee. So it's just going to be all Bumblebee all the time, which is not what I wanted. It is said that we will get a Cybertronian Siege version and some more live action Bumblebees. I don't care for live action Bumblebee. I like his head design because he looks like a little baby, but the body is always a bag of knives. But I do like that we'll be getting like a Siege version. Maybe we'll get the flying saucer Bumblebee from More Than Meets the Eye, or maybe that's where we'll get not Netflix exclusive Bumblebee or Walmart Netflix Bumblebee. We'll probably get him in the buzzworthy Bumblebee. But then it says here, all the figures are core class figures. Like what? So that means you're going to make a Michael Bay Bumblebee that's this small? The small bag of knives? We'll see. This is good. Cyber Cookie is good to get a good idea of the future, but it's not set in stone. It's 10:28. I've enjoyed myself. Let me close this before getting to the main event. 58 minutes in. No viewers, but that's okay. Let me see what time I set my alarm. Set it for 11 o'clock. So I got 30 minutes. Probably going to turn this off because probably going to run more. Probably be an hour and 30 or 2 hours. Try not to go to 2 hours. So best of the best. Let me share the screen. The last screen that I got. This is the TF Wiki article on War for Cybertron Earthrise. It's up here if you want to read it. Could either go to the wiki or make this video large. Since time began, no. Not since time began. Hey, look, it's James Roberts. Anyway, since uh, since I started collecting Transformers and we started getting renders around, this is around Drilling 30 Combiner Wars time. And they would spill out the waves and you get the renders of what you're possibly going to get, which is cool because it's not, the toy's not done, but it's a 3D print, 3D image of what the toy should look like. Ever since we started getting that, I've been, with the deluxes, I've been picking and choosing which ones I really want and which ones I don't want. Eventually, I'll do this best of the best with all the lines. I'm going to go back from Earthrise to Drilling 30 and not before that, because before Drilling 30, it was a mix of kind of G1 and kind of Baver, so it was weird. And I wasn't collecting that time. The figure that got me back into collecting Transformers, the one that got me out of collecting was Fall of Cybertron Jazz and Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime. Because in package, you could look down their chest and see a big gaping hole. It was like cleavage, but not pretty. So I'm like, ugh, these things hardly have any plastic. So I moved on to Halo because those Halo figures were looking awesome with their interchangeable armor. But I got the figure that got me back into Transformers was Scoop. Drilling 30 Scoop. He had a cool head sculpt. I liked his boxy chest with his vents. And his vehicle mode reminded me of Landmine from Cybertron, which is also a good toy that I liked. So he said, "You son of a bitch, I'm in," and got me into Transformers. So ever since then, I've been raiding the especially the deluxes, because that's the class that I like. Deluxes are I'm acting like people are watching me. So, deluxes are a good size. They're 5-6 inches tall. They're good size. They have a decent and ample amount of articulation. And their price isn't crazy. Like, I think Legends class figures for $10, I think that's too much. When I see like a Star Wars figure with 5 points of articulation, or maybe more than 5 points, but the size, 3.75, when I see those guys for like 10, 12, I'm like, So this is the right amount of bang for your buck, deluxe size. So this is my favorite class. That's what we're going to be talking about. I'll mention the other classes too, but the main focus is deluxe. So let me see if I do the 2 screens. So I'm gonna put these guys in order. This is the Battle Masters, from the ones that I like the most to the least. Like, if I went into a store and they were all on the pegs and I only had like enough to buy one, I would get the one that I like the most, the Slitterfang. The small little snake that turns into a shield. A lot of people have said he's probably built by Cobra, or he would make a good addition to the Cobra army. But the little Slitterfang, he's awesome. So he's number 1. He's the best of the Battle Masters of Earthrise. Next would be Sound Barrier. He's coming in number 2 here. And third would be Double Crosser. I like Double Crosser's ability to make to to connect to be like an intersection, but the robot mode I don't like. It's not the two heads has something to do with it. I do like that the arms are articulated, but it's just he doesn't look cool as a robot. Sound barrier gives me Ultra Magnus vibes. Slitterfang is a snake, which is cool, a little snake. And coming in fourth place would be, let me see. Coming in fourth place would be Smashdown. It's kind of a tie between Smashdown and Rung, but the first time I saw Rung when he was part of Siege, I did not buy him. So that means I didn't like him that much. I do like the character of Rung, but he turns into this weird gun, which is actually, spoilers, a Matrix maker. But Smashdown turns into a cool hammer. The hammer is better than the Minotaur. The Minotaur is kind of weak, but that hammer, the red hammer, is awesome. So number 1 is Slitterfang. Number 2, Sound Barrier. Number 3, Double Crosser. And number 4, Smashdown. And number 5 is Rung. So Rung is the bottom of the barrel. I know a lot of people are looking for him. The Target that I went to on the Columbus Circle had lots of Rungs for some reason and some Slitterfangs. So if you want Rung and you live in New York, there's where you should go. Next, we'll move to the Micromasters. I'm not a big fan of the Micromasters. You'd think I would be a fan of little cars that transform, but there's no articulation in them. So it's weird. They should be cool, but I don't really like them that much. Think about it. Build a little city out of cars for your city formers, for your Scorponok or your Trypticons, so you have these little cool cars and vehicles. It sounds awesome, but to me, it's not awesome. I'm sure if I had kids, they would love them. But the little cars that transform with bulky arms that, like, their shoulders clip with their heads, that doesn't appeal to me. But anyway, let's go. So number 1 is Power Punch and Direct Hit, the Battle Squad. They're an awesome long car, becomes some dumb long gun. That's a tongue twister. So Direct Hit and Power Punch Battle Squad, they're number 1. They were released in Siege, but I never saw them in Siege. I did get them on the Earthrise packaging from Target. So number 1 is them. Number 2 would be the Astro Squad, Fusor and Blastmaster. They turn into a space shuttle approved by NASA, of all things. I had problems clipping them together, but when they were together, they're awesome shuttle. I kind of like that concept of 2 vehicles, 2 robots becoming 1 vehicle more than I like the little vehicle. The back part of the shuttle, he has problems standing. And I think the front one might also probably has some issues. But they are painted in the classic shuttle colors, black and white. So they're cool, and they're number 2. Number 3 would be Trip Up and Daddy-O. Just because of Daddy-O. I like the little 50s car that he turns into. I do have the Big Daddy from Walmart. That was a downshift, a Cybertron downshift that was repainted. Do I? I'm not sure. But I do have the downshift, and that was an awesome mode. I like that mode a lot. So Daddy-O and Trip Up are number 3. I'm not too crazy about Trip Up, the white car, but Daddy-O is awesome. Then number 4 is Bomb Shock and Growl. I like the little, here you have the little tank. I like his flat chest. It's visually appealing. But his tank is kind of like meh. And Growl is like an orange truck. So they're okay. As you can see, my love and interest for them is kind of waning as we go down. And the last one, that the bottom of the barrel, is the Roller Force. Roller Force and Groundhog. They're the 2 little racing cars. I see them warming the pegs at Target all the time. I did eventually get them, and I got the Bomb Shock and Growl because it was like Target had a buy one get one 50% off on Transformers. So I was like, let me get these guys. And it's not like I'm gonna run and build them, like army build them. I just got them to get them. They're somewhere in a Ziploc bag, collecting dust in storage. And now the main event, ding ding ding. We got Deluxe class. So from wave 1, number 1, the guy who's the best is a Wheeljack. Every time I see Wheeljack, if I can, I buy him. I love him. The only thing I don't love about Wheeljack is when you're transforming the legs, there's like these little windows that make the front of his hood. They have a tendency to pop off. And that's the only thing I don't love about Wheeljack. But I love him. He's awesome. He's a flat little race car. He's not pure white. A lot of people have complained about that, but he's good for what he is. And he transforms good as well. He's a decent transformer. Only thing, I wish he had wings. There is an upgrade kit that gives him wings. And I wish, besides having the shoulder thing, which is good, I would rather give him a shoulder missile launcher than a gun. A gun you could get from any other robot, and 3D printing guns is everywhere on the internet. So giving him the missile launcher is better than giving him the gun. So he's number 1. He just needs a gun and wings. Number 2 is Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper, he's small, he's expensive, but if you can get him like on sale or at a if you could get them on sale or for a discount, or maybe if you don't have them yet, you should get them, because Earthrise is about to get replaced by Kingdom, and wave 1 is probably gonna disappear. Wave 1 is usually the line that's on the pegs the most, because that's the wave that the stores are like, give me the new stuff, give me the new stuff, give me the new stuff. Now I need the second new stuff, but I got too much of the new stuff of wave 1. Excuse me. So wave 1 usually hangs around a lot. If you can find Cliff Jumper, get him. And he's already been remoded and retooled into Hubcap, Bumblebee, and Bug Bite. So it's an awesome mode. I like it. I'm not too crazy about Cliff Jumper, the character. He's a jerk that deserved to die. Did he die? But he was a jerk for hating Mirage, so that's why I don't like him. So number 3, this will decide who's Who's last? Who's the loser? Number 3 is Hoist. Yep. The guy who's often confused with as Moist by a famous director. The name's Hoist. When Hoist went Hollywood, he even got his own episode to develop his character. I did get, I believe I bought his commemorative figure back when, after I finished collecting Cybertron. I was like, maybe I should move on to G1, and I got a couple of commemorative figures, but then I sold them. He's okay. He's a peg warmer. Sadly, you can find him easily. Macy's had him for like $15, but he's decent. He's a decent figure. He goes well with Grapple because they're master debaters. They love to master debate. Actually, they love to build. He's great. I love his little tum-tum. He's like a little chubby. He has like his thing on his shoulder. He looks great. He looks a lot like his G1 character design. The only fault with this toy with Hoist is the gap in the front of the car. You can slip his arm gun into it, but it's not flattering. And sometimes as in robot mode, sometimes the folds will get in the way, the sides of the car. These things, sometimes they'll get in the way. But he's decent. He's not the best. Wheeljack is the best. But a lot of times, like if I go to Peg and it's him, Wheeljack, and Cliffjumper, he's staying. I'm not getting Hoist because he'll be easy to find later. And because Hoist is number 3, Ironworks is number 4. He's the last. He's my least favorite of Wave 1. They retooled him into Grease Pit, and I do like the Grease Pit version better because it comes with little gas pumps, and it comes with a sign. You can get Ironworks into that configuration, but you're going to be missing the gas pumps and the sign. But he's okay. Ironworks. He's a good character if you want to make a entry point character because he's bland. I know nothing about Ironworks, and I'm sure he doesn't have a personality. You can make one for him, which is good. He does turn into a modulator, like he turns into a base dumb crane. I think his base gasoline station mode is best. He turns into a dumb crane, and he turns into dumb weapons for your other robots. But he's my least favorite. Moving on to Wave 2. Number 1, if you probably can't tell, then you're blind. This is an audio podcast. I already mentioned Smokescreen. Smokescreen is number 1. He's a cool Dotson brother. I don't like the double chin that he has. Everything else is perfect. I do like that they did make him, instead of having the numbers 83, he has the number, I mean, was it 83? I think it was 83. Or instead of having the numbers 38, he has the number 80, which I want to customize into 83, like my username, Harry's 83. So he'll be my special boy, Smokescreen. So that's an extra point that I like about him. I'm glad that they didn't do what they did with the Masterpiece and give him those weird ass shoulder guns that come up and then out. They gave him the little shoulder guns that they gave Blue Streak and Proud, these little guns, which I love better. One of the reasons that I like the Masterpiece of Blue Streak is the shoulder guns. So Smokescreen is number 1 from Wave 2. Then number 2 is RC. And you're like, what? RC, the backpack lady? Yep, RC. It's since the beginning of time. No, not the beginning. It's always been difficult for Hasbro or toy companies to do female figures. I do remember back when Toy Biz was making Marvel Legends that I think Jack Specifics made a wrestler. And I was like, this wrestler looks awesome. The face is a little weird, but it looks better than that Marvel Legends Rogue that they did. So Hasbro's been getting better with their female figures, which I think the pinnacle is this Belle, the Southern Belle here, Rogue. She's nice, curvaceous. So everyone wants G1RC. Let me get G1RC. And then they get G1RC and there's, oh, the backpack's too big. Oh, why is she a shell warmer? And I'm like, you stupid dummies. There's no other way to make her robot mode look like it does without making her look like a shell former. Unless you want her to look like Titan's Return RC. Huh? You want that, right? So she is my second favorite. I hope she warms the peg so every little girl can get their RC and little boy if they like RC. But being a female character in a wave full of boys, she's got it. I like it. I like her figure. And whatever other people say about it, she's fixable and she's great. Even the Paradron Medic. It kind of sucks that she has the flying saucer backpack, but you can throw that on her back and have her carry that if you don't like the flying saucer thing. With the RCs, what they did with her, they did extend. Cyberverse RC has extra long ankles, and she has long ankles to help her stand, which is a great idea. I liked the Power to Prime's fembots. Even though they had the big backpacks, I always felt like they were communication backpacks, like dial tone, like the only problem was standing. So they fixed the standing problem. So I don't care about the backpack problem. The backpack problem, because it's a problem for other people, it's not a problem for me. So RC is number 2. And coming in number 3, what? Airwave is number 3. I didn't like him at first. Like before having him in hand, Airwave was number 4. The Quintesson Alicon was number 3. Airwave was number 4 because he was a modulator. But I've grown to love that he's a wide boy. He has awesome colors. It's the colors of Kevin Smith and the Mets. He turns into a little base and some sort of weird rocket propelling thingy. But I like him. He also. One of his arms has like 2 shields because of how he's built. He does have the little tower, so he's like a good airport tower because he has a tower that you could build. It turns into some sort of gun. But Airwave, he's out of wave 2. He's number 4. He's my number 4 favorite. If he was like cheaper, I would probably army build him or buy a lot. I already have like 3 Airwaves. And finally, the Quintesson Alicon. The Quintesson Alicon is weird because I don't like him. He's number 4, but everyone's army building him, so he's rare. Seeing him at all these, maybe I should have bought him, but I don't really like the design. I do like that in robot mode, the fin on his head is soft plastic, but I don't like that he has a whole dinosaur Alicon head hanging on his back. I do like he comes with a shield. My neighbors are deciding to get noisy for some reason, and the dogs bark, and I hope you guys don't hear that. So the Alicon, I like his spear. I like his fin, but I don't like his alt mode as an Alicon. It's not that great. And you can't put him with the Decepticon army. He has to be with the Quintessons. And if you're having trouble finding a Quintesson judge, you're gonna have trouble finding an Alicon. So hopefully, I don't know, wave 2 is the shunted wave. So because of Kingdom coming out and the delays because of the pandemic, wave 3 is going to come out. Wave 2 is going to get shunted. So if you can find a wave 2, even if you don't like them, pick them up. At least one of each. They're all great, but the best is Smokescreen, second best RC, third best Airwave, and the final best is the Alicon. And now I'm going to move on to wave 3 Deluxes. The one that I love the most, it's pretty noisy on this Thursday night. Noisy house, noisy neighbors. So number 1 is Sunstreaker. I know people have talked about his let me check if anyone's watching. Chipper Williams has joined the chat. No, Chipper. I'll hide that. I don't have any Masterpiece Transformers. Well, I do have MP1 and the Masterpiece Skyward Walmart exclusive. So let me go to wave 3. So Sunstreaker is number 1. His Lamborghini alt mode is awesome. It's problematic that the paint doesn't match. A lot of people have said that, but he's not the first figure that's had that happen to him. That happens to a lot of figures. Sorry, Chipper, I'm gonna go to TF Wiki over here, but you can see me talking to the camera. I just won't be able to see your comment until I come back to it. Sunstreaker, he's awesome. He looks like a Lamborghini. Looks more like a Lamborghini than Sideswipe. He's only missing his tail fin in the back, and he's missing a weapon. The engine block that you can use as a weapon. I'd rather throw that on his back and give him like maybe Cog's gun, so he could be shooting, come out blasting. In vehicle mode, the roof does have trouble tabbing into the legs, but if you if you're not afraid to break it, if you have multiple copies like me, you could probably lock it in place. So Sunstreaker, he's awesome. A review spot just reviewed him. Check out that review. He does transform him from robot to car and then car to robot. Number 2 on these guys from wave 3 would be Runamok. Runamok has trouble tabbing as a car. It's like if in vehicle mode you can see all the lines where everything comes together. But I do like his car mode. I like his robot mode. He kind of like has a robot hoodie. It's a half hoodie, and he does have a gun and a fake chest. If you flip him upside down, if you flip Runabout, which is the black version upside down, it kind of reminds me of Raven from the Mask. It's a Vanessa Warfield's vehicle. It would turn into like this boat. Wait, not sorry. Raven belongs to Calhoun. It was a cool toy. I think it was a Corvette. Just look it up. Mask Raven. The driver's name was Calhoun. It belonged to the good guys, not the bad guys. So Runamok, the only difficulties that I've had is tabbing his arms to his legs. You have to come in at an angle. You have to bring, this is the leg with the peg. This is the arm with the slot. You have to come in and bring it down. You come in the slot, bring it down on the peg. Don't bring it together, up, down. And they should tab. And then the hood of the car has like trouble pegging to the feet. There's only one peg on the feet. One peg on one leg so that the hood could peg into it. But he's great. He's number 2 out of wave 3. And number 3 is Trailbreaker. He's repaint of Hoist. I've already mentioned I like Hoist's tummy. Lazy Eyebrow Reviewer did a mod on Trailbreaker's panels. He cut them so that one part of the panel stuck to the legs, but it doesn't give Trailbreaker that silhouette that he has, which has the panel sticking out. I do like that Trailbreaker has the shoulder missile thing, and he also has like the box of missiles. I only have one copy of Trailbreaker. I need at least 2 more, but I don't know. He's part of wave 3, so I'm thinking they're gonna be clearanced out by Target at the end of December. If I can't find them clearanced, I'll probably go to Big Bad Toy Store or Big Bad Toy Store and I think Walmart. They're the only ones that I've seen have Trailbreaker in stock. Oh, and Amazon. So I'd probably go there. GameStop and Best Buy don't have them in stock. I haven't seen them in stock there. Maybe once at Best Buy, but so Trailbreaker is number 3. I do like his hood. That it's not the whole towing apparatus that Hoist has. He just has a hood that comes on the back. Trailbreaker does remind me of another Mask vehicle, the Jackhammer. But he can't transform like the Jackhammer. I think way back when I wanted to customize Combiner Wars off-road into the Jackhammer, but never got around to it. And last, of course, because he's the last one being mentioned, is Fast Track. I did mention last week that I like that Fast Track looks like a Mandalorian. Just checking if you're still here, Chipper. Just give me a minute. Oh, after I finish that, I'll come back. Fast Track does remind me of The Mandalorian, which airs on Fridays. So it's coming up. But his vehicle mode is kind of dumb. I don't like it. He turns into a staff, which is another thing I don't like. And I think he becomes weapons. But I've only seen people turn him into a staff and into a little vehicle. I don't see a lot of people turning him into like a modulating weapon thingy. He's a weaponizer. So Fast Track is the fourth. I only have one version of him. I'm not expecting to get more. I have 2 Scorponok's, but I don't know. Fast Track is kind of boring to me. I don't know. Why would I get more? As a weaponizer, he sucks. As a staff, he sucks. As a vehicle, he kind of sucks. The best weaponizer is Brunt. He's awesome. I love Brunt. Chipper says, I'm here, dude, listening to knowledge. Thanks. You're going to have to, after I finish streaming, you could probably listen to it maybe when you have the time. It's already 1 hour, 36 minutes. It's pretty long. And I have the Voyagers to go through. Let me hide that. All right, so next is the Voyager class, Wave 1, Starscream and Autobot Grapple. We all know the answer to this. If you've gone into Target, you know who's there warming the pegs, and it's not Starscream. So Starscream is number 1. I've done a review about Starscream. I love the jet. The undercarriage of the jet, not so much, because he has a big gaping hole, where if you're inventive, you could put your finger in and you could fly him. But he's awesome. I love the Seeker mode. They got everything right. The face, the chest, the arms, the ankles, the legs. The only thing is some people have problems with the wings popping off. So that might be a deterrent. That might be a bad point for some people, but it's better that they pop off than they break. You can lose them like Generation 1 Starscream, but hopefully you don't. Maybe a little pledge, Future Shine. Number 2 is Grapple. I want to review Grapple. He's my favorite peg warmer. Right now, Hasbro Toy Shop's eBay store, they still have him. They sold out a Snapdragon. They still have Grapple for $23.99. And if you want to get tricked, if you feel lucky, you could go to Best Buy and try out their I think they have a listing for Voyagers, but it's like style may vary. So whichever you pay for the Voyager, and what you get is a surprise. So be careful on Best Buy. But I do like Grapple. I do want to get his retool Inferno, so he could go with Red Alert. But Grapple is just fine. He's orange. I did find a version of Grapple. He had some paint errors in his blue eyes, so it made it look like he had pupils in his eyes. I call it disapproving Grapple. I put the picture up on my Instagram, so if you want to comb through the Instagram, he's like, ooh, because he has dots in his eyes. It looks weird, but I do like Grapple. Grapple does have a problem with his pegs. The pegs from his crane, from his head crane back. They're too tight to fit into the holes in his legs. So what I did, I got these little nail filers from Dollar Tree, and I just filed a bit. I turned it from circle pegs to like kind of box pegs, and they fit in fine. They're a little loose, but they fit in fine. They don't break. And if you broke your grapple, buy another one. He's warming the pegs, and he's awesome. Next, we'll go to Wave 2, and the winner, surprisingly, the only Voyager listed from Wave 2 is Snapdragon. Snapdragon with Decepticon Crunk. He's great. He's awesome. I would recommend Snapdragon to any fan of triple changers. The dragon's kind of weird because you use the little head, the little Titan Master, to become the bottom jaw of the dragon. That's the only part that it kind of gets weird. The jet is solid. You do have problems with opening the little crystal doors for the Titan Master. And the robot mode is also great. I love that he has 2 Decepticon insignias on his chest. He does have like a visor. And in my head canon, he would talk like Macho Man Randy Savage, like, "Oh yeah, Face, we're gonna go get those Autobots. Yeah, you're going nowhere, Autobot." Suplex. I know there's a couple of Transformers that are wrestlers. I think Weird Wolf's headmaster Monk's always a wrestler. But Snapdragon, I do like him. I recommend him if you can find him. As a part of Wave 2, he's kind of feeling a little bit of the shunt, but not that much. And here we got Wave 3, the Mysterions. I thought Megatron was part of Wave 2, but Megatron is Wave 3. But my favorite is the Quintesson Judge. Well, you thought it was Megatron? No, I just spoke about Megatron first. The Quintesson Judge is a great display piece. He's not a good action figure. He's not. I have one that has the gimmick where his faces switch. I was having trouble with the gimmick. Like I'd press and it wouldn't catch, so the head wouldn't spin. People have trouble pegging the red face onto the red head onto the body. What you have to do is you have to approach it from an angle like this is a cup. Let me see, this is empty. You have to come in on like this at an angle, and it should snap in, and then it'll come in. Then you'll be able to lower it. But that's the only problem people have with the Quintesson Judge. But like I said, I have a problem with the little mechanism that makes the head spin, faces spin, and a problem with I didn't have a problem putting the face. The transformation is obsolete. He turns into like a jail. He does come with a little chair that folds out. I put the chair away, and but the chair is movie accurate. It's in the show. He comes with a little gun that you could peg onto one of his tentacles. The tentacles aren't posable. It would be great if they were, but I realized that to make them posable is going to cost more money, so I'm not going to cry about it. They are what they are, and they're workable. They're serviceable. But my favorite face is the face of death. I think everybody's favorite face is the face of death, not wisdom or wrath. But he's out of wave 3. He's the best Voyager, and then comes wave 3 Megatron. Megatron is a peg warmer. He's easy to find. I don't know why. Siege Megatron also loves warming the pegs. For such a cold, tyrannical leader, he loves warm. The Earthrise Megatron, I had the 3D render. I had problems with the face, and then in tank mode, he doesn't look great as a tank. He comes with this big sword cannon thing that he's supposed to carry around, so that kind of sucks. But I did notice that what was missing from Megatron's face was some lines. I don't think a lot of Transformers these days have lines on their face. In the cartoon, you could see them all the time. It would be like, usually it runs from their eyes down to their chin. Some of them have it that it goes out and then goes in and down their cheekbone. So with my X-Acto knife, I tried to add some lines to his face. I messed up, but it looks better than without the lines. I have a picture on Instagram if you want to check it out. Should be showing it here, but I don't have the time to search. We still got leader class and commander class to go. I do have a display. Let me see. And Chipper Williams asks, you keep looking to your right when you talk about figures. Do you have a TF display over there? Yes, I do. It's I don't want to show the mess that's this room. It's enough mess with that stuff behind me. Look, a towel. Whoops, it's behind my head now. But I do have a display of toys that I keep there. I've got 2 shelves. The rest of the shelves is like some plates and stuff, and then some pantry stuff at the bottom. But yeah, I'll probably show the collection one of these days soon, without having to show the entirety of the mess that's the room. So I'm gonna go back to the full screen. I don't know if this works. Maybe this is better. I changed StreamYard to where my picture is little and screen share is big. I had it backwards. So Megatron, he's decent. Like if he just had his cannon, he's good. But that big sword and shield, front cannon, alt mode thing, it's redonkulous. And then when he turns into a tank, he doesn't look cool either. All I could think of is the big D12. I think as a hex tank, I think that's what it called. As a hex tank, I think he looked better than this Earthrise tank. But he's gonna warm the pegs. If you hate someone for Christmas, buy a Megatron. Like, take that. Oh. Next, we'll move on to the leader class. We got number 1, of course, is the leader, Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime, he's great. Let me turn back time and pick up this Netflix Optimus. So Optimus Prime is great. He's what a lot of people have wanted. Basically, he's like a G1 Optimus, finally. I like this Netflix version because of the darker colors more than the Earthrise version. But the Earthrise one, I've noticed with Optimus, this is weird that I just noticed this now after like 10 years collecting or 5 years collecting. You think Combiner Wars came out 5 years ago? After 5 years collecting, I've noticed that Optimus Prime sells out. It's dumb. I'm dumb. The Titans Return version was like, he wasn't peg warming. The Combiner Wars version, I don't think he was peg warming either. The Power of the Primes version, he wasn't peg warming. The Siege, not peg warming. And Leader Class Earthrise, he not peg warming. For even though people complained about the trailer and the price being $50, they love him. And you should love him too. But don't love him at $50. If you can, try to get a deal. But if you're going to pay full retail, at least get one. This is $39.99. It's just a cab. The dead Optimus was like $33.99, but he's dead, Jim. But it's still the same mode. As a collector, I'm okay if I could just get the mode of a figure that I like. So if I got the dead one and never got the Leader Class one, I'd be okay. If I just got this, I'd be okay if I never got the Leader one. But the thing about the Leader is the trailer, because that's Optimus. Every time you think Optimus Prime, he has to have something behind him, except in the Siege, in Netflix Siege. But every other series, and maybe Prime, but in Robots in Disguise, he was long. Yeah. So the trailers, a lot of times, part of Optimus. Robots in Disguise, 2001, long. Armada, long. Cybertron, long. So his trailer's always a part of him. So $50, it's worth it. And then you get Astro Train. Astro Train, he's been showing up at Ross's for like $20. I did get one from Earthrise just to get him. The Siege version I never saw, but I'm glad that they did re-release him into Earthrise. A lot of people probably complain. I've never heard this, but they'd be like, that Astro Train, he's taking up a slot for another Leader Class figure. I'm sure if they reissued Misfire, people would be grateful. Or I'm hoping that for Kingdom, we get Prowl, we get Earthrise Prowl, Earthrise Ratchet, and Earthrise Ironhide in there. And Thrust. All these exclusives, put them back out, either in the Generation Selects or somewhere else. Have their, if the retailers want, have them re-release the exclusives. But a lot of people want these things and they can't find them. So having Astro Train again in Earthrise, that was good. His figure, not so much. At least it's a decent shuttle. At least it's a decent train, because the Titans Return one, I did like the robot. The shuttle was kind of fat. He looked like a fat shuttle. And then the train was inexplicable. You could see the little bits of train at the beginning, but then it's like a mountain of a train. It was weird. But I do remember that when they got diagnosed with diabetes, I bought Astro Train to cheer me up. I was like, Astro Train. So, and then I marked him Diabetes Astro Train. But number 1 is Optimus, number 2 is Astro Train, and number 3 is Double Dealer. I do have a Double Dealer over there. That's my custom Double Dealer. I I saw him on sale like for maybe $40. It was the Amazon warehouse deal. So the box was open, everything was flopping around. He's not great. I like the character. I mean, what little I know about the character, he was in Master Force, but I don't remember him. I know he was some kid with glasses, but I've never. The one that I have for the collection, I turned him into a missile truck just to put him away, but I've never turned him into a bird. I've heard there's been problems with the bird version, with transforming him to a bird. I think Bolt Matrix in his video review explained what was happening. So Chipper, if you want to check that out. Nah, not now. Chipper is asking, show the collection. And as to train cure diabetes, maybe. I mean, if he could fit all those Decepticons in him, maybe he could cure diabetes. Maybe that's the secret. But Double Dealer, he's not my favorite. I'm glad they made him, but when I think of him, his design's kind of wonky, like his knees. He's not that great. I did get the cassettes for him. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe I shouldn't. I paid $30 for them, $33 on Amazon. But I did get like a rat bat mode and another bat that's not rat bat. I got him. So those guys are for Soundwave. But Double Dealer, out of these guys, I would say he's the least. Astro Train showed up at Ross, and so I'm hoping that he shows up at closeout stores here for Christmas. Next, we have Commander Class Skylynx. He's awesome. You should buy him. Target has save $10 on purchase over $50. So if you can find him, get him. I don't think he's online, but check Brickseek in stores. Then finally, we got the Titan class, Scorponok. I've mentioned Scorponok is having trouble. So like the production's been finished. So if you got Scorponok, you're lucky. If you don't got Scorponok, good luck. Hopefully we'll see him. Hopefully he'll do a Triptychon and show up at closeout stores because he's busted. Yeah, I have Triptychon on the collection, on the shelf. That's why I was thinking maybe I'll take a picture and show him. I'll probably post the collection on Instagram, Chipper. So just, I guess, follow me there and let me know it's you if you have an Instagram. And then we have the store exclusives. I'm not rating these guys because not everyone has them. Like Alternate Universe Prime, the Seekers, Ramjet and Dirge, and the Autobot Alliance, Ironhide and Prowl. I can't be like, yeah, those Seekers are the best because not everyone has them. So it would be like throwing salt in your wound. Like, here you go. You didn't get them. Your order got canceled. Here you go. I love these guys. And you don't have them. I love them. So, yeah, these guys, the exclusives, hopefully we'll see them get released. Maybe again, or maybe again by Hasbro, maybe by the retailers. Hopefully everyone can get all these guys that they're missing. Then you got the selects. But this part of the line, I already have, I've completed Earthrise. But these guys are, I'll get them if I can, but it's not necessary to get them, like Hot House or Tiger Track, Rotor Storm. It's not necessary. So I would recommend that if you can't get a figure from a collection, then just chalk it up to fate. We're about a few seconds away from 2 hours. I hope you can get Scorponok Chipper. I don't know if you saw him when he was out, because it's one thing to never see him in stock and be like, I couldn't get him, to seeing him being like, I'll get him later, and then not being able to get him later, because that is pain. I saw Combiner Wars Devastator, Toys R Us, for like 115. And I'm like, I'm looking for the new hotness. I want Trigger Happy and Hot Rod. So I didn't buy him. Never again, never saw him. All the Combiner Wars Devastators are over 115 bucks. So that's it. Thanks for joining. Chipper, you're my #1 fan. One of these days, I'll when I get the guts, I'll probably have like a group StreamYard with other people. Probably get Review Spot, maybe like it's 1985, but we'd have to coordinate a day that that they can, because it's 11:31 at night. Some people have to go work tomorrow. Some people get up late. So I'm not going to be like, hey, yeah, let's hang out at midnight. So whatever time, I'm also a little bit shy, because even though, you know, we're interacting, Chipper, I don't know how it would be in the live version. I'd probably be a little anxious or something. That's how I feel about like it's 1985. We would interact back and forth, but we never spoke like in the video chat or something. Anyways, that's it. Christmas is around the corner. I think Toys for Tots is probably rounding up their boxes. They usually end their donations, I think, before the 15th. So if you have a chance, check Toys for Tots boxes at places where you shop. If they're still there, give an old toy. It doesn't, you know, people think like, oh gosh, I got this Earthrise guy. Let me donate that. If you have like a toy is a toy. If you have like some Titans Returns figures that you're like, I've been trying to sell this thing on eBay, no one's buying it, donate it. Just do it. That's what I did with my Transformers Primes Deluxes that I had, or my Robots in Disguise guys. If I had any Cyberverse in package, I would donate that. So you don't have to. Radio Free Cybertron, it has a thing where they're doing Elf on a Shelf warmer. So they want you to buy everything off the shelf and donate them, so stores can put new stuff in. Buying everything, the stuff that's at retail is more expensive. If you can go to a closeout store that has decent toys, not junk, do that. Buy from them and donate them. Doesn't have to be what's on retail now, but if you want to give till it hurts, like Cyclonus said. Excuse me. I've been talking a lot. Chipper says that, he says, Dude, you're one of the first TF reviewers. People should be shy around you. Thanks. Doesn't make me less shy. All right, so have a good night, Chipper. You're my only viewer. And anybody listening to this in the past, good luck toy hunting and get the best of the best from Earthrise if you can. You don't have to get everything, just get the best. I'm Aries Double 83, and I'll see you later, Carburetor. Bling. Bye.